Hi folks, Dave with DBS Tech Talk, and today we're going to talk about the Adv-Sound S2000s. They are in-ear monitors that cost $25. And they come in a nice little package. And if you're in the market for a budget in-ear, over-the-ear style headphone, or earphone, excuse me, then the S2000s may be something that you want to look into. Presentation wise, they're pretty straightforward. They come with a nice little advanced bag that says advanced on one side, and then on the bottom it says designed for musicians. And it's a nice little cloth bag. I mean, it's nothing too major. And I found it to be just a little small to be able to get the headphones in. I mean, you can cram them in there, but you really have to wind them up. And so I don't prefer that. I actually have a nice little package from Shure that another item came in that I use because I can just lay them right inside here, and then you have this nice pocket to put all your other stuff in. So just beware. The bag's nice, but slightly small. It does come with a 1/4-inch adapter, and you get a plethora of silicone tips. I don't know if you can see them that way. There you go. Whoop. You do get a plethora of tips, small, medium, and large. And they're okay. They're not the greatest tips. They're not uber comfy. They're not uncomfy, but they don't, in my ears, they don't isolate and fit very well. So I lost some of the sound abilities of the headphones. And they sounded a little trebly and sharp and I lacked bass because I didn't have a good seal. On Advance's website, they do sell foam tips, and you can get small, medium, and large. They're $8, I believe, for a pack of 3, and they are extremely comfortable. Probably, in my opinion, actually, I like them better than Comply tips, and the reason for that is they're a little softer and mushier, and I find that they just fit in my ears and just fit, whereas the Complies, you kind of put them in and then they expand, and I always find that Complies expand a little too much, put a little pressure on my ears when they're sitting there. So I actually prefer the advanced, and they do have 2 different versions of foam tips on their website, and you just have to match up for whichever earphone you're looking for, whether it be Model 3 or S2000s or any of the other advanced models that you have. There are 2 versions of the S2000 that are made. There is the mobile, and there's the live. I got the live edition. The difference is the mobile edition has a inline microphone on the cable. The live does not. And I believe also the live comes with the 1/4-inch adapter, and the mobile one does not. I'm not sure if the mobile one includes anything else. I can't remember. But anyways, I have the live edition here. Build quality wise, very nice cable. One of the nicest cables. It's short, probably 36 inches, maybe 40 at the most. Has a nice plastic little case here at the end with a nice strain relief, gold tip 3.5, and then it comes up into the split, and again another nice hard plastic case with some nice strain reliefs, and then you get the little cable organizer. I'm not exactly sure what they call that slider thing, but it keeps from tingling when you have them around in your ears. The earphones themselves are very nicely plastic made, very small, minimalistic form factor. Do not have a majorly large area for where the tip goes into, and it's quite small. Your earphone just fits, or your ear tip just fits right on it, and they are marked with ADV on the side, and then a small L and a small R. The ear hook part, the cable's not detachable. That's the only real bummer. But this part here is very firm. And when you put it on the first time, it's going to stand straight up. And as you form it to your ear, it's going to stick right in. You're going to get it in position. And then when you pull it off, it doesn't really move. So when you go to put them back on, it's very easy. You just put it in there, flip it over your ear, and you don't have to worry about trying to reorganize it and connect it and do all that kind of stuff. It just sits right where you left off. They don't put a lot of pressure on the inside of your ears. I find that they sit right here very smoothly, and they have plenty of room to be able to go right around. The cabling behaves very nicely with glasses. It's not super tight or super loose. It just fits. Most cheaper in-ears that I've come across, this part is the troublemaker. It's either really thick and mushy and just wobbles around, or it's so tight that it cuts into the back of your ear. I don't find that at all. Very, very nicely comfy. Probably the most comfortable $25 pair of headphones I have tried. For budget, these are amazing. How do they sound? It depends on which ear tip you have in. If you have the silicone tip in and you don't get a good seal, like I wasn't able to get good seal, you're going to be kind of sibilant and harsh and lacking in bass. And at first I thought, man, these are terrible, typical $25 earphones, and I was about ready to just give up on them. And when I got the foam tip in, and I got the right fit, which for me is the medium tip, they're awesome for $25. Now, they're not going to beat my CL750s. You have to remember, $25. In my opinion, these exceed $25, but they're not world beaters, and they're not killers of other headphones. With the foam tip in, you get better isolation, which is given. You get better comfort on the in the whole part, and you get better bass. It's more smooth and it's enhanced. The mids are warmed up just a little bit, and then the treble is brought into control. You don't have the high, sharp, trebly, fatiguing sound that you do with the silicones if you don't have a good seal. Now, it could differ for you with the silicones, but I wasn't able to get a good seal or a good sound out of them. So the bass is not overly extended. It's not going to go super deep. But what you do get is a nice tone to it and a nice texture to it. Everything sounds controlled. There's a little bit of detail. You don't get a lot of layering and a lot of expansiveness in the bass, but the bass is present with the foam tips in. And you're going to get a little bit of a thump and a kick. But these aren't bass cannon headphones. Just like any of the other advanced model headphones and earphones that I have tried, they're not going to kill you with bass. Okay, so if you're looking for just that thumping bass and that, I want it in my face, yeah, these aren't for you. In fact, probably nothing that Advanced makes is that way for you. These are very nicely textured, very smooth bass, slightly rolled off, not overly extended. The mids here are very nicely even keeled. They do sound natural. They have a nice timbre to them. They are not, again, overly detailed and layered, but you're not missing out on the basics of the song. They do have a little bit of a warmth to them. They're not neutral, but these headphones are nice sounding in the mids. They don't merge in with the bass or merge in with the lower trebles. They all have their own parts and they transition well. You're not going to get a lot of bloat and muddiness out of the mids. They're nicely keeled. They sound smooth. They don't sound recessed or extremely forward. They just feel like they're where they should be. And then the treble, with the foam tips in, the treble is not near as peaky. I found with the silicone tips, they are very trebly and very sharp and can be extremely fatiguing, especially in that lower treble to mid treble area. Again, just like the bass, these are not super well extended. They're not going to get up there and wail with the best of them. They are slightly rolled off, but you do get nice detail and clarity in the treble. You're not going to miss out on a whole lot from the song, but you're not going to get that crispness that you can get from like the CL 750s by RHA. But you are going to still be able to hear all the detailing in the treble area. As far as imaging and soundstage, it's present, but it's not overly wide. It's detailed, but it's not like extremely detailed. You can tell if it's left and right. You can tell each individual instrument, but you're not going to get to the point where you're like picking out minute areas of sound. It's just, you have to remember, they're $25. So what these do is good for $25, and in fact they're amazing for $25, but they're not going to beat $150 head earphone. If you were to compare these to the CL750, they're not even in the same league. The CL750 is going to blow them out of the water in everything, except for maybe, well, no, probably not even build quality, because build quality, the RHAs are all steel, metal built, and very industrial-like, whereas these are plastic, and these might have a nicer cable. But overall wise, for $25, you can't go wrong. And then if you have to buy in the $8 foam tips for them, just because you have the issue like I do with the silicone not being comfortable and not giving you proper fit, and you're up to $33 for an in-ear. I highly recommend it. So budget wise, I would say for $35 overall investment, the Adv-Sound S2000s are a good investment. I've had a fun time with them, and I'm going to continue to use them. They are my, I guess you call beater earphones, the ones I'm going to wear while I'm working out, while I am mowing the grass, while I'm just kind of doing things around the house. They are perfect for that. Because if they break, if I break them, if anything happens to them, $33. Whereas if the CL750s break, over $100. So cheap, but good. The Adv-Sound S2000s. This has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.